Hey Victoria, Veer and Bandera here from Veer and Bandera Real Estate, and I want to talk to you about a subject that is near and dear to my heart, and that is real estate investing. Now, I'm not just saying that because I'm a realtor. I became a realtor because I love real estate investing. So here are 7 reasons why I love it so much. Number 1 is leverage. So leverage is so important. It basically supercharges whatever you have in your hand, right? So let's say I have $200,000 in my hand. I'm like, oh damn, I got $200,000, that's sick. But it can get sicker because I can go to the bank, get a mortgage for $800,000 and now buy $1 million asset in terms of $1 million asset in real estate. So that $200,000 now becomes $1 million asset, right? So that's number 1, it's leverage. So leverage coupled with another thing, which is the number 2 reason I love real estate, which is appreciation. So like a lot of assets, over time they grow. So appreciation is the year-on-year amount that this real estate asset grows. So for an example, let's use 3%, which is super conservative, obviously here if you're in BC at all, or especially in Victoria. So at 3%, I buy this $1 million asset with my $200,000. In 10 years, that's $1.3 million, right? So $200,000, now I have a $1.3 million asset, which leads me to my next reason I really love real estate, which is number 3, and that is equity building. So I have an $800,000 loan, right? That's how I got that $1 million asset. Over time, because it's an investment property, I've got great tenants in there, they're paying rent, that's paying down my mortgage. So over time, my mortgage is getting less and less and less and less as my asset grows and grows and grows, right? So let's say after the 10 years, assuming like a 4.89% interest rate on my mortgage goes from $800,000 down to like $589 at the end of year 10, which means at the end of year 10, I've made $715,000 out of the $200,000 that I originally had, right? If I was gonna do that in the stock market, take $200,000 and turn it into $715,000, or the case is, I need like over 13% year on year in order to hit that kind of number, right? And that's the power of leverage, appreciation, and building equity all rolled into one. Now, with building equity, if you really do the purchase correct, if you're in a great market, if you're able to add doors, if you're able to do different ways in order to actually get tenants in there, you might actually do something called cash flow, which is number 4 as to why I love real estate investing so much. So cash flow is essentially the extra money that you get in rents, right? That's over and above what it actually costs to run and own that property, right? So if the rents are great and I have, let's say I put a basement suite in there, so I get, increase the amount of tenants I can put in there. Now, rather than just breaking even on my costs, I'm actually getting cash to hand after all my expenses are paid on owning that asset, right? So that's cash flow. So that's number 4 reason why I love real estate. Number 5 is I can actually build value. So let's say I buy a house, $1 million, but it's not appreciating the way I like it. I want more money when I go to sell it at the end of the day, so I can actually go in and change physical things of that property to increase the value, right? Now, ideally, if I'm investing into that property, and trying to upgrade it or renovate it, I want, at least a 1.5x return on my money. So let's say I put $10,000 into getting a new bathroom. I want the property to increase in value by $15,000, right? That's why I can do that. But that's something you can do with very few assets, and one of them being real estate. The number 6 reason why I love real estate so much is tax deductions. So all the costs it takes to actually own that property are all tax deductible, which means I get to keep more of my own money, which is huge in real estate. And the last thing, number 7, why I love real estate so much is duplicatability, right? So I don't have to sell that property and get rid of it in order to do this again. I can now refinance or re-leverage that property and go buy another one. And I can do that again and again and again. Now, remember, those mortgages are only 25 years. So if I count down to 25 years, at the end of that, I have a free and clear property that's pretty much 100% cash flow at that point, right? And every, however my period is that I'm buying new properties, XYZ years after that, I have another one and another one and another one. All those properties have now appreciated at that pace, whatever the interest rates are gonna be. There's no more mortgage on it, and it's all cash flow, all asset, right? And that's why I love real estate investing.